What can we use? We can just use like a regular hip block pass. So he goes here, he kicks that leg out, and he starts to come forward, put the weight on. It's really important Devin puts his hands on the shoulder. If Devin reaches for the hip with both hands, man, Ryan just takes the left hand out, goes under the head, and now that's about all she wrote. There's no more struggle, there's no more fighting. Devin's gonna be stuck. So if he goes back, what's gonna happen here is Ryan's gonna kick out to the side, try to put his shoulder like on Devin's chest. Right, a little bit higher if you could, Ryan. Right, and I want Devin to stop the shoulder. Hopefully he'll be a little bit more on his side so he can move away at the same time. So he should be up on your side, move the hips. Now the shoulder's gotta move. Yeah, now the bottom leg can start to come in, go to the hip. Ryan can reposition, right, and start to go to the other side. Put the shoulder in, stop, right. There we go. So it's really important that when Devin feels his guard is vulnerable, he blocks the shoulder, kicks out, starts to move the shoulder away. That way the bottom leg can come back into play. If Devin goes back, or the next rotation here, Ryan goes, and Devin kicks the hip out, boom, but doesn't move the shoulder, it's very difficult to get the leg where he wants it to go because his upper body's in his way. If he puts that foot back on the floor, now he moves his shoulder. Now when that leg has a ton more mobility to go to the far hip. It's very important. It's something that's very difficult to do when you're not really thinking about it. Any questions? So the drill will go again, just go back and forth. He has a little hip block, comes aside. Ryan should be thinking about trying to come close to Devin's head. Devin's got to stop him and move his hips and shoulders away. Bring the foot back in here. Now in a perfect world, Devin would reclaim the inside position. He'd stop, move hips and shoulders, and then bring the knee inside. There. Okay. Any questions at all? Ryan, if I was on top actually with Devin, something that I could do is hit a little hip block and try to come close. Right? And now he's got to move. I can put my knee on the ground, give Devin lots of something to push off of. And as I come up, I'm moving to the other side. I like take a knee. I can give him something to move. If I stay out here, it's hard for him to do too much because there's nothing really to push. Eventually from here, the person's always going to try to get close to you. Then he stops the shoulder, moves the hips, moves his shoulder, bottom leg comes in. All right, start to move. So when I get to the side, then drop your knee and try to get your shoulder close. Because if Devin didn't do anything, if his hands were down, the next thing I would try to do is go here. I try to stabilize my position, so I want to give him that type of feel. He stops, moves hips and shoulders, legs come back in. Questions at all? Very basic drill. 1, 2. Getting around your legs and actually passing the guard and solidifying the position and scoring points, or securing a pin or something like this. It's a huge difference. You watch people, like Sean is a great example. People get around his legs all the time, but they never pin him. He's always like getting up to his turtle or fighting it off and getting back into the guard or something like this. So there's a huge difference between somebody beating your legs and pinning you. So when Ryan's here, and he's starting to pass Devin's guard, and like the next step would be to secure a pin. What's the thing I'm always yelling at everybody on the bottom?
Grab your head, grab the arm.
Don't ever let him grab your head. Don't let him grab your head. If Devin blocks the hip with that right hand, game over. For the most part. Sometimes people get lucky or have some crazy bridging moves or something like that to get out. But the number one thing I'm yelling is don't let him grab your head. All right, so he blocks the head, boom, gets on the side. Right, you can start to make a little bit of an escape. Now, the same thing is going to be true if Devin goes away into a running escape. Right, Ryan passes. I'm like, defend the hip. Right, Ryan's got the hip, he's in trouble, so go back. The first thing, the automatic response should be push that thing below your knees. Boom, here. Right, now he can start to get out. So it's of equal importance. If you turn away, it's important that you block your hip. Right, get your knee out. If you're turning in, you got to block your head. Make sure the person doesn't secure that position. Okay, questions at all? Okay, we're going to play the pass and keep the guard with no grips.